So last session we learned about how to create an API. So by using the mean stack, mon stack. So we created an API with Node and Express.js, and we tested all commands also. The commands that we tested is related to we tested all the commands. This is TypeScript. Yeah. Related to CRUD operations, all the commands we learned. How to create an API for reading, inserting, updating, and deleting. So this is the complete API that we designed. In this, we are handling the users related data. User related data we are managing here. Now, we will design one interaction here. We will create an interface here. Interface is nothing but we will create one small project environment. So we will create a to-do application. So React to-do application. We will design this React to-do application. And in this, we will have to-do application. What is the main purpose here is user can register. So user, this is actually user module. User can register, then user can log in, and user can add appointments. User can add appointment. So user can view, edit, and delete appointments. That's the logic that they can implement. So user module, user can register, user can log in, user can add appointment. So can view and edit and delete appointments. All the CRUD operations user can manage. So we have a user module there. That is one application. In this, user can do all these actions. So that you can get a complete CRUD idea on this. So actually, to store appointments and to store user related details, we need database. So we will say data modules, data models. Data models, that means to maintain this information, what tables we need, and what data we need to store in those tables. That is the logic. So user can register, user can log in. That means for users, we need one table so that all registered users data we can maintain in table. So we need two collections. So that means one is users collection. And what is this users collection is users collection we need. It contains user ID and already we just created that user ID, username, so password, email, mobile, like you need users collection. So we have user ID, username, password, email, and mobile. Right. And what we need is appointments collection. Appointments collection requires appointment ID. We need appointment ID. And we need title, description, appointment description, and appointment date. What is the appointment date? And we need another one is every appointment belongs to particular user. All users appointments we will keep in one place. But every appointment belongs to one user so that whenever that user logs in, his appointments will be displayed in his dashboard. So every appointment have an user ID. It will have an user ID. And actually in users collection, user ID is a primary key. In appointments collection, appointment ID is a primary key. And user ID is a foreign key. It is a foreign key. That means the appointments are related to certain users. Whenever user login and add appointment, where appointments are stored in a separate appointments collection, but for every appointment, the user ID is also stored. So what is the point about this is whenever user logs in, his appointments we need to get and display in the dashboard. So all appointments are stored in one place, but they are filtered by users. That means every appointment belongs to certain user. So we have a relation between users collection, another one is appointments. Already we have the logic for that means appointments, we must able to add appointment, edit appointment, delete appointment. So then we need a API for all the CRUD operations for appointments also. Last session, what we done, user related all CRUD operations we created. In the CRUD operations, what happens here? Users, it will get all the users and register user to store the details. Actually, if we want, we can create edit user, means user can change his details, or we can delete the users. these are not required, but we are just keeping them we created them to understand the logic, all the operation. Now we need to add API for appointments also we need. That means what are the API methods we need for this database? So let's create. So this is the module we are having in our project. And these are the data models. That means we need two collections. One is users, another one is appointments. So what is our database? Our database is to do React. In that, what is the collection TBL users? So for this table, we will use TBL users. That means table name. User collection name is TBL users. And for this, we will use TBL appointments. TBL appointments is the collection name. We have users and appointments. Now, what are the API methods we need for this? API requests. That means routes. What are the routes we need? So, what are the API requests for our project? So, one is method. Another one is route. And we have a description. That means three important concepts are there. What is the first method is get. What is the route? Route is we need to access all the users. That means we have to have a users. So get all users data. We can also get any specific user data also. That means instead of accessing all users, we can access any specific user. So get, we have users / user ID we can give. This is the route. Get specific user details. Actually, in order to edit any particular user, we need to get only that user. Then we have to use this URL. So that is a users related option. So here, according to this project, I am giving the basic. All CRUD operations we will not do on users as just get the users and all. Next one, user must able to register. Then we need a post. So what is it? Register user. That is the route. That means add user data into collection. So add means it is inserting. Insert user data into collection. We need to insert user data into collection. User data into collection. So user, we can access all users. We can access specific user and we can register the user. We created other methods like put. That means this is edit user / user ID. This is edit specific user details. We have delete delete user and user ID. This is delete specific user. These are the methods for user. We have another one. We have appointments. Appointments will get all the appointments, but we don't want all appointments any place. We want appointments only for that particular user. When user logs in, his appointments we need. Then it requires an user ID. Get all appointments. Of specific user. Get all appointments of specific user. And we need a post. Appointments. This is add appointment. So it will insert new appointment for user. And we have a put method. This is edit appointment. Edit appointment details. Edit appointment. So we need the ID also. That means to edit any specific appointment, we need appointment ID. This ID is appointment ID. Based on that particular ID, we can edit an appointment. And delete also. Delete appointment based on ID. Delete specific appointment. This is by ID. By ID. These are the API methods we need to design. So add appointment, edit appointment, delete appointment. So collect the appointment details and store the appointment details. So this is the implementation now. So let's go to the API design. Already these we created in our last session. And we need to design these. So that means what we have to do, the get method, like users I will copy. And these are the methods we are creating. These are related to appointments routes. In this first one, I will give as here, what is it? Appointments / user ID. Based on user ID, we need to get all the appointments. Then here, the table name will change TBL appointments. I told you, even there is no table, later it will be automatically created because the ORM approach find. We have to find all the appointments that match with the appointment ID. Appointment ID. So what we will do here, we will use find query appointment underscore ID is matching, not appointment ID, user ID. So user ID, user ID. is matching with the user ID you entered. So request dot, that is request object, request dot parameters dot what, user ID. User ID is the parameter. This is slash colon, right? That is the user ID. Params dot user ID, that is the parameter we need to define. So now what it is going to do is collect only the appointments that belongs to that particular user, right? Okay, so we are having user details also. Based on user ID, we are accessing the appointments. Okay, so this is the option ready. This is adding an appointment. That means we need a post method, just like user post method is there. I will copy this and here we will keep it. This is same appointments post method, but this is having the request as add appointment. Add appointment is the route method we want. What this add appointment have to do? Insert appointment details. So we need one appointment. What are the details appointment have? Appointment having like appointment ID. Appointment ID. Appointment ID is a number. That means every appointment will have an ID. That is a number. So how do you define number? So we have to collect the number from body and add it. So then we need parse int. Parse int request dot body dot appointment ID. Because whatever you collect from form body, it is a string. Query string, form body, all are string type. We need to convert them into number. Okay, next we need title for appointment. Then it is just request dot body dot title. Okay, next we need description. This is request dot body dot description. Next we need a date. So date need to be converted into date. How to convert into date? So we need to use a new date constructor. Into that we need to pass the date value. That means request dot body dot what, date. That is the date. Another one, user ID. User ID is coming from request dot body dot user ID. That's how we need to define. And this appointment detail must be stored in which location? TBL appointments. Into that, here we need to send which details? Appointment details. That appointment details, and here we will put a message appointment added. Added. This is the message we are giving. So that is about reading the appointments and adding the appointment. Okay. Next you need another one. Edit appointment based on ID. And delete appointment. So edit appointment is same like put method we created here. I will copy that. And this is the same. This is edit appointment. And this is appointment based on ID. That is appointment ID. So which table it is? TBL appointments. And what is the update query? We need to find what we have to find out. Appointment ID is matching with the ID. That means request dot params dot ID. It is matching with that ID. If it is matching, set all the appointment details. This time, this is not user details. We need to set all the appointment details into this. What are the appointment details? Just appointment ID is matching with parse int. What is it? Request dot. This is request dot body dot appointment ID. Okay. Second one is title. Title is coming from request dot body dot title. What is the third description? Description request dot body dot description. Another one is date. So new date, it is coming from request dot body dot date. Next one is user ID. User ID is coming from request dot body dot user ID. All this is ready. Then we will keep just a confirmation like appointment details updated. Appointment details updated, that is the option. Now we need one more API method for deleting appointment. Same like delete user. I will copy this and we will keep delete appointment. This is delete appointment. So based on user ID, this is based on ID. What is it? TBL appointments. And here we have to get the ID. Based on appointment ID, we must able to delete. Appointment ID is coming from request dot parameters, request dot parameters dot ID. We have to get that ID and remove that particular. So we need number. Na? This is what? Parse int. Parse int. And we need to convert this into integer and we need to remove that. That's the logic of all the interactions we have. Appointments, add appointment, get appointment, delete appointment, all these the options we are having. So we will go to our database. That means all the logic is ready. Means all the API methods are created successfully. That means all our API methods are ready for the project, whatever we need. So now what we need to create an interface for this. And actually, we will open the database. In the database, already in that to-do React database, in the to-do React database, we are having, this is to-do React database, TBL users, and we have TBL appointments. The table is there, but we don't have any data. We have temporarily one user data is there. And that user data, some SAM, HYD, some Hyderabad is there. Now, whenever we want, we can store the appointment of that particular user. Actually, when we are storing the appointments, these user ID must be collected and it must be saved along with that particular user. Okay, let's create the interface for this. Appointments is empty. Appointments will be automatically added by users, right? First, user have to log in. So let's and register. For that, we need to create a interface. So let's create the interface in our application. So this is the server application. I created server application in the same environment, and we need to start this API. So you are starting the API. CD server and node API.js. Okay. So once it is ready, started. Now we will design the interface here. Actually, it should start with the components. Here we are having simple sample component we created. But usually what should happen is, so we will have a index component. That means to do have a index component. Application will start with to do index. Or by default, which component is present? App. Already there is an app.tsx. We can start with app.tsx. So we can create a new project, not required, because this we are doing with TypeScript. We can, if you do with TypeScript, you can easily handle with JavaScript also, same approach. So in the components, what is the key point here is, first, we need to implement routing also. That means what we will do, we will set up bootstrap and all those basics also. Bootstrap and bootstrap icons. And what else you need to define? First, let's do this. What are all the libraries you need for your project? Basic libraries you need for project. Right. So you need to set up all the libraries required for project. What are the libraries required for project? So here I will give the list. So this is a React application, a React TypeScript application. How to create a React TypeScript application, we already know. What we need to do is, in this, first create React TypeScript app. So npx create React application. This is some React to do. And here we will create template as TypeScript. After that, so install the libraries. You create the React application, install the libraries. Server-side libraries, what you need? So server-side libraries, you need to install MongoDB. Because server code also we will keep in the same location. MongoDB and Express, CORS. These three libraries are required. You need to set up. Server side MongoDB, Express and CORS. These three libraries you need to do. And client side, what are the libraries is? So npm install. One is you need bootstrap icons, Axios, Formic, Yup library. Bootstrap icons, Axios, Formic, and Yup library. Axios, Formic, Yup. Any React router DOMA. We need a React router DOM also. These are enough. These we need. Server side libraries and client side libraries. We are setting up server side, client side libraries. So server side, you need MongoDB Express cores to create APIs connection with MongoDB and all. And client side, you need all these options. So already we have Bootstrap. I think npm install Axios, Formic, another one is Yup, and React router DOM. These are the libraries you need to set up. Okay. Now in this, after setting up all the libraries, now our application will have a server logic first. That means what you have to do, go to project and add a new folder by name server. So add API logic into server folder. We given the name some API.js. The complete API logic to communicate with the database and to create API requests. So you need to set up everything. So I'm adding the API.js. I will copy this code, which already we designed. Actually, we tested the code also. Appointments related, we will test while working with the design, we will do that. Users related, already we tested with Postman. And this is the complete list of API methods we need to configure. Then that means in API.js, this all code will be there. Okay, now next, after you done this, make sure that start API. So in server folder, node API.js. That means this is in your project server folder actually. API.js, wherever you kept the server folder, because the file is in server folder, you have to run from there. Okay, now we need to build the UI. So we need to configure. First thing, what we want is, so we need a to-do index. So here, one more work is there. What is another work is because our language is TypeScript, with which data you are dealing with in this project, the data related contracts must be designed. We need two contracts. What are those? Users contract, another one appointments contract, because that is the data we are going to deal every time. So what is the next thing you have to do? Add contracts folder into project. So two contracts we need. So one is we need a user contract .ts. What will be user contract .ts? So user contract .ts, actually what we need, export, interface, and user contract. What are the details in user contract? We have user ID, which is a string. Username, that is also string. Password is a string. Email is a string. And mobile is a string. These are user related contracts. Because you are using a TypeScript application, you need contracts to define. Appointment contract. In appointment contract, we need export, interface, appointment contract. In that appointment ID, number, title string, description also string. Next, date is a date type. User ID is a string. These are the details. So we need to add two contracts into this. Right. So appointment spelling. Appointment contract. So these are two contracts you need. So let's go to the contracts and add user contract .ts. And let me copy this. This is user contract we are having. Okay, next appointment contract. Another appointment contract .ts. This is appointment contract we are having. That is fine. So two contracts are defined. So now we need to, after creating the contracts, now we need to create the UI, user interface. So application will start with app.js, app.tsx. So in index, we will keep Which one? App. App is in the startup. App is a default component. It is in the startup. Okay. Now it will start with app, and but app will show the to-do index. It will show the to-do index. So in the components, we will add components now. So what are the components? A new folder, or directly we will add the components. Because if you need styles, you need separate one. Huh? In this already there is some data binding. I will remove this. Some already some data binding, something is there. We will remove that. Okay. So in the components, we will add a new file. What is it? To do index.tsx. To do index.tsx. So we have a export. So function. This is to do index. Index that is the startup. It should return a simple markup here. And index.tsx, we will import /node modules. We have a bootstrap dist css bootstrap.css. Import node modules, bootstrap icons, font bootstrap icons.css. Import bootstrap from bootstrap. That is nothing but you need to import the complete bootstrap. This is bootstrap. It's not there. This is it is in new modules. Import bootstrap from where it is. Bootstrap already there. Why it is showing error? It is not saved. So npm install uh, I think it is already there. Okay, let's find. We will check. If it is there, we will use it. Huh? That means it is implicitly imported. Okay. So now what we need to do in this index, container fluid. Okay. And here, I'm not concentrating on design much. You put all the effects and all. I'm just concentrating on the functionality. We need to achieve the functionality. So what we will do is temporarily, I will create here free pics. Some photo I will copy. So we have to do list or to do something. That means ready-made some photos will be available related to do. We will take any reasonable one, a simple one. That means our intention is just to put a background. This is a paid one. Right. Okay, so some background. I already have some background image. I will use it. That means here, this background image is optional. I will use todo.css. PG image. And we'll keep some background image. Public image. Okay. The same image I am keeping here. Okay. Right. So now, what is the background images? We have a background image. URL is, so it is public. In that, we have a image called todoback.jpg. .jpg. Okay. Height 100 VH and background size as cover. We are using that cover. Okay. Now we need to set up this background image. This is the HTML. Import dot slash to do dot CSS. And here we are adding that BG image also. Image in the background. Okay, now which one is in the startup? App.tsx is in the startup. In this all code we are removing. This is all the code it is already having, we are removing. And we need to import. What is it? How to configure the routes we know. What is it? Browser router. In the browser router, routes already we know how to configure it. So in the browser router, we configured the header. I'm just writing a header. And in this header, actually we'll start with app itself directly. So we don't have any headers or anything. Directly we will define what? Routes. Routes will have a route. And what is the route path? Route path is slash. Then which element should render? What is the element to render? So it should render to do index. So to do index, it should render to do index. By default, it should start with to do index. Let's start the project and see. That means it is going to start with to do index. So our application starts with the to-do index. Actually, it starts with app.tsx. App.tsx is having to-do index in the startup. So in this index, we need to create two interactions. So that means this is having some problem. Huh? CSS is unable to import. Huh? Why? Why it is unable to import? Achha, JPG file problem is there. What is the JPG file problem? It is in public folder. Now it is fine. Okay. Now this is just the index startup. It is the file we are having. Okay. Now in the home screen, I need only two buttons: new user register and existing user login. So two options we need. So let's go to app.tsx. This is to-do index.tss. Here we are writing a div. So class deflex, justify content center, align items center, and the style will keep height as 100 VH. And here we have two buttons. One button is actually we don't want buttons. We want links which should navigate to two locations. One is register user, another one is login. Okay, so we need two components. In the components, one component is to do user register. I'm giving user register dot tsx. For your clarity sake, lengthy names I am giving. So you can give short user register. Okay. And export function. And this is to do user register. Okay. I'll just keep a simple div. So later we will create complete. That means here we will have a register user. Later we will design the form. First we will create the interface. Okay. You need another one, that is the to do user login dot what tsx. So export, so function to do user login, to do user login. Here also we will just keep a simple container and a form in this heading like user login. Okay. Now these two must be in the routes. So where is our routes? In app.tsx, we need two routes to add. Another route is path. If route path is slash what? Register. Which element it should access? It should access to do register. To do user register element it should access. another route path we need to define. What is the route path slash login? So element, what is the element? To do user login. So two components are ready. Now where to keep them? In to do index, here we will keep a div. In this we have two links. One link that is router link. What is that link? So this link have to link to. Link to which one? Link to slash register. So this is new user register. Okay. Another link we need. What is this link? This link to slash login. So here existing user login. User login. So new user register, existing user login, just put some class like button, btn, some dark or say, yeah, dark and mx2. Okay, this will have like btn warning like this. And you see we have the two buttons here. That means new user register, existing user login. And when I click new user register, the register form should come here. Right? It should be able to access the register form and display. But important is it is displaying in a new screen. It should display in this itself. Then how? Huh? What we need to do for that? So in the app.tsx, in the routes, there itself it should display. So what is the route path? We need to just use register and login. We learned na relative path, absolute paths. So new user register, then register will come. And here, what is this? It should not be separate. Then what we will do is the design of this to-do CSS, we will keep in app.tsx. That means we will use that design in the app. Because in the app we are giving the routes. In the app we will add this. So instead of adding in this location, we will do one thing. Where to add? So go to index.tsx and this to-do CSS we will shift. Actually, I think we have already index.css. Index.css is already there. Then we will copy the same logic there. Index.css is already there. Here we will copy the same bg image. So here we need class name. Where is it? This is the class name. What is it? bg image. That is the class name we are applying there. That will be there. Now it will be fine. When I click on register, then register form should come. There itself we are displaying the data and showing it. Right now, what should happen is when user login should come. Right? All this we can just keep inside another area. We will keep a section area. Just roughly. Okay. And what is this to do register login? This displaying we will control. Display flex, justify, content, center, align, items, center. So I'm less concentrating on the design, just functionality we will define here. So now what we will do is, in this, we need to show the registration form and what that registration form should able to do. So you see this registration form. So class, some BG light and padding 3. Okay. Margin top 4. So some like this we are adding. We need to design the registration form. I will just keep a data list, data term. We need user ID and input type is equal to text. So class as form control. And we need user name and data definition. Input type is text. So the class name is form control. Okay, we need another term, password. And input type is password. Class name is form control. One more is email. Input type is email. Class name is form control. Okay, another is mobile. So input type is text. And this is also having class name, form control. Okay, then we have a button. PTN, some warning, some W100. This is register. Okay. Now we have finally the registration form. So this registration form, I will remove these classes temporarily. So this is text start. Deflex, justify, content center. Okay, this is the just form design we are having. So what we need to do now, user able to enter these details. When here we have another option. What is that is, we have a link. This link will have option like, so home, suppose. That is the link and it should navigate to slash. Again, it should navigate to slash. That means here we are having a home, it will navigate to that. Or we have another option. Another link is, so have account. That means have account. That means it will go to which one? Login. That means we have two options, home and have account. Suppose I am giving class MX4. Some gap will be there. Home and have account we are having. Home is going to take them to back to this location. And register is going to get the register. Have account means it will get the login screen. Login screen we haven't designed yet, we will do. Now first we need to implement this functionality. What is the functionality? User will fill the form and user will register. Then his details we need to collect and save in the database. We need to store in the database. Let's do this. On register click, we need to collect the data and insert into the database. Okay, in database, to insert into database, which API method we need? So in our project, we have all these API methods. Which API method we need? We need the API post register user. That is the API method. And in which IP address it is running? 3200, that is the IP address it is running, and this is your API number, right? Okay, 3200 is the location. So what we need to do now, we have to design a simple form. How do we create? So we have a constant formic. Formic is equal to what? Use formic, because we have to collect the data from form. So initial values. What are initial values? You need to define initial values. What are initial values? It is showing red mark because it is TypeScript. In TypeScript, all mandatory fields are compulsory. What are mandatory? Initial values mandatory, on submit also mandatory. On submit also mandatory. But later we will design that, right? So initial values, what are the initial values? User ID. User ID is empty. So user name, that's also empty. Password, password is empty. And email, that's also empty. And some mobile is also empty. So we have to collect the values. Values are nothing but we have to collect user. This user details we need to submit into our API. So how to do that? Axios. Axios dot which method? Post. Axios get method to fetch. Axios post method to submit. Where to submit? http://127.001:3200/register-user. That is the API method we created. And into that we need to pass the data. That means comma, whatever data. Data is nothing but user. That's it. That means we need to use a then method. And on success, what should happen? On success, what should happen if it is completed? We will put an alert. Alert is simply saying that registered successfully. Registered successfully. And it should navigate. It should navigate to login. That means it should say that now you can log in. So how to navigate? Dynamically navigation means we have to create navigate is equal to use navigate. Use navigate is a hook we need now. That means dynamic navigation also I showed you in routing. So here we have to use navigate. Navigate to which path? /login. That's it we need to do. Here lot of logics we can add. Just the basic functionality we are implementing now. Okay, let's run this and see whether the functionality is working or not. So this is register. This is the home. From home we came to register. In register we are entering the details. Suppose John underscore NIT. And but all these will not work yet because we haven't written any bindings. What are the bindings you need to define? You know. So for the text box, what is it? On change. Formic dot what? Handle change. These all are required. And every form element requires a name. This is what? User ID. This will have a name. What is it? User name. This will have a name, that is password. And this is the name. Name is what? Email. This is also name. This is mobile. And all these requires change event. All requires a change event. All requires a change event. We need to define change event. And form also requires on submit. Na? On submit formic dot what? Handle submit. Okay, now the logic, everything is ready. Now we need to set up this, and here we need to enter the details. User ID, username, some John, and password John@11. That is the password. And email some John@gmail.com. Some mobile number we are having, right? some mobile number we are having, +91 something, and click on register. And when I click on register, it should show the alert registered successfully. Once it is registered successfully, it should navigate to login. But login is not yet designed. We will design the login. Let's go to the database. Here already one user is there. Let's refresh. And the new user is added. Mobile is having some problem. So that means we need to check what is the problem. What is problem? Why mobile submitted here? I given the name mobiles. Mobiles. That is the reason. That is the reason. So it is empty. So it should match with initial values. Na? Match with the initial values. So I will delete this again. So, and later we can use edit option also. Then I will just go back. This is the home from where register, and same John details we are entering some John. So at the net 1, 2, 3, something like that. This is the name and all the details. Now, what is that? Register, registered successfully, and login. And here we need refresh and data will come here. That means user successfully registered. Now, when user register, after that, we need to login. That means what is the next screen? Login. And when user login, it should show his appointments if he is already having. Otherwise, it should show option like add appointment, edit appointment, and delete appointment. That we'll see in next session. Tomorrow we will design it. Right? Tomorrow we'll finish this. And I will give another, that's a simple approach. So because post, put, delete, these three methods we need to implement. Then tomorrow I will give idea of another project. So that 50% entire code I will give to you, but 50% I will guide, rest you have to do. You need to design by yourself. In that, I will show how to implement Redux like concepts, how to handle them. Then tomorrow we will finish this. And this entire project code I will upload tomorrow. Because tomorrow we will finish, then I will upload. So, but up to this I will upload. Rest of the code, you means up to API I will upload. You can go through it. Design part, after finish design tomorrow, I will upload that. Entire zip folder I will upload of project. You can get the complete project folder there. Okay. Then tomorrow we'll continue it.